Fear has no hold on me, 'cause you're mighty and holds all of me. Your love paid it all for me. And so I take another step, drawing near to your promised land. Your grace paves the way for me. And I walk round and around and around and shout, "Wow!" Let the walls crumble down. Angel armies all around. I'm standing in your promise now. Your promise now. Whoa! Let the voice of praise resound. Of heaven's glory raining down. I'm standing in your promise now. Your promise now. Fear has no hold on me, 'cause you're mighty and holds all of me. Your blood paid it all for me. And so I take another step, drawing near to your promised land. Your grace paves the way for me. Now walk round and around and around and shout, "Whoa!" Let the walls crumble down. Angel armies all around. I'm standing in your promise now. Your promise now. Whoa! Let the voice of praise resound. Of heaven's glory raining down. I'm standing in your promise now. Your promise now. There's no other name I trust. There's no other name I trust. There's no other name but Jesus. There's no other name I trust. There's no other name I shout out. There's no other name but Jesus. Now walk round and around and around and around and around and around and shout, "Whoa!" Let the walls crumble down. Angel armies all around. I'm standing in your promise now. Your promise now. Whoa! Let the voice of praise resound. Of heaven's glory raining down. I'm standing in your promise now. Your promise now.
Good day, Feast Binangonan. Cap Mark here, and welcome to Feast at Home. We are still in our series, Rhythms of Grace, and we are now in top 5, and it's titled A Demand That Reveals. We're back in studying the book of Matthew. Kaya dito sa section na to, Matthew continues to describe the way people were responding to Jesus. kung paano sila nag-react before nung nakita nila si Jesus. And karamihan sa kanila, puro negative ang reaction. Kaya in our Bible study today, the Pharisees, they demand that Jesus produce a miracle. And this revealed the emptiness of the soul of, the emptiness of their soul apart from God. Kaya today, mga kapatid, I want to preach the simple message, God is inside you. And before I proceed, let's pray our favorite prayer here in the feast. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Today I receive all of God's love for me. Today I open myself to the unbounded, limitless, overflowing abundance of God's universe. Today I open myself to God's blessings, healing, and miracles. Today I open myself to God's word so that I become more like Jesus every day. Today I proclaim that I am God's beloved, I am God's servant, I am God's powerful champion, and because I am blessed, I am blessing the world in Jesus' name. Amen. Again, good morning, brothers and sisters. Mga kapatid ko sa Binangonan. I want to preach the message, God is inside you. And let's proceed. Now, relate to this, mga kapatid, na bringing God to court. Bringing God to court. Na every time na may nakakausap ako, to counsel, and just to relieve someone. Most of them actually question God. Yes, they question God, and kadalasan ganito pa. Why is God so unfair? Well, alam mo tama si C.S. Lewis, he was right when he wrote an essay that says God in the dock. Pag sinabing God in the dock is you put God in the docket, meaning we're suing him. Dinimanda natin siya. Parang we're bringing him to court eh. Diba? Bakit? Kasi he broke his promise. Parang ganito. We want to tell God, we want to tell him, God, we had a deal. Sobrang simple. And, my end of the deal is that I say my prayers, I go to church, try to be a good person. And ikaw, your end of the deal is that you answer my prayers. Solusyonan mo yung mga problema ko. Fulfill my dreams. Pasiyahin mo ang buhay ko. Pero di mo ginawa yun eh. Nawalan ako ng trabaho. Iniwan ako ng jowa ko. And I'm still single at 40. You're a bad God. Parang ganun yung sinasabi natin. But, who said that was the deal? Sabi nga ni Bo, this was a grave misunderstanding. Hindi natin maunawaan. God never promised that He will solve your every problem. Our every problem. Kung wala tayong problema, di ba? Do you know what you become pag wala kang problema? Kung ano ang nagiging ka pag wala kang problema? Parang ganito. Again, imagine a baby, di ba? Na being wrapped in her arms sa nanay niya, di ba? And nagbe-breastfeed. Di ba? Tapos kinakantahan pa para makatulog. Di ba? That baby has no problems. Wala. Tama? Gagawin niya lang, iyak lang siya. Patitiday na siya. Patutulugin siya, kakantahan siya, patatawanan siya. Walang problema. But, if you want to grow up, you have to go through problems. You'll have to go through problems. If you don't want problems, then don't grow up. Stay a baby. All the truth. Only problems can make us grow. We need problems. You need problems. You need pain. I need to say this as loud as I can. If God solves your problem, He doesn't love you. I'll support that. Let's read. In verse 38, chapter 12, verse 38, let's read this. One day, teachers of the religious law and Pharisees came to Jesus and said, "Teacher, we want you to show us a miraculous sign to prove your authority." Now, in ancient times, yung tatanong, you asking for a supernatural sign from a Jewish rabbi was, it was like a common practice. Yes, it's like a common practice. Pero, hindi namang ordinaryong Jewish rabbi si Jesus, no? He was God in the flesh, di ba? That, with that, the Pharisees were bringing God to trial. They were bringing God to trial, saying, "Show us proof. Dazzle us with your miracles, and we'll believe in you." Mga kapatid, aren't we sometimes just like the Pharisees? We want God to play by our rules, no? Maging personal genie natin to make our wishes come true. But in the end, we want God, in the end, we want God to obey us. Now, question: were these religious guys sincere asking Jesus Christ? Hindi. Hindi naman sila sincere. Balik tayo na konti doon sa story, di ba? Di ba pinapapatay nga nila si Jesus? So no wonder Jesus was responding, this way. No? Sabi niya sa verse 39, "Only an evil, adulterous generation would demand a miraculous sign. But the only sign I will give them is the sign of the prophet Jonah." Now, why adulterous? Because a relationship with God is like a marriage. He wants exclusivity with you. And why Jonah? Let's keep reading. "For as Jonah was in the belly of the great fish for 3 days and 3 nights, so will the Son of Man be in the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights." Now, with your permission, may I loosely paraphrase what Jesus is saying? Imagine Jesus looking at the Pharisees and saying this, "Didn't you want to kill me a few hours ago? Pero pasensya na kayo. Hindi ako magbibigay ng sign. No? Hindi naman kayo deserving eh. Pero, wait. I changed my mind. I'll give you a sign. An anti-sign. You'll kill me because I'll allow you to kill me. But like Jonah, wait for the 3rd day because I'm the sign." Wow, di ba? What a message. Now with this, with this and that, let me share to you some practical applications that I picked up. Number one is focus on the people who are open to you. Diba? Focus on the people who are open to you. Jesus didn't perform a miracle for these guys because it was useless. It was useless, di ba? May mga tao bang masama loob sa'yo? Yeah, may mga tao bang masama loob sa'yo? Please stop wasting your time, your energy on people who don't like you. Work with people who want to work with you. Now, believe that there are enough people out there whose hearts are open to you. Number 2, find God in the ordinary. Stop searching for God in the abnormal. Yun ang ginagawa dati ng mga religious leaders. And that's what some of those religious leaders or people are still, they did that before. And some of the religious people are still doing it today. They're hyper obsessed with miraculous stuff, chasing after sightings of the dancing sun, a bleeding statue, or prophetess that predicts the global disaster. Well, please, mga kapatid, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying these supernatural events are fake. No, hindi po yun ang sinasabi ko. Because they could be authentic and they could be sources of inspiration. But I'm trying to relate to you, or I'm trying to correct an immature faith. No, preferring abnormal signs instead of natural ones. Immature faith is seeing God in the miraculous, but they cannot see God where? Doon sa boring na asawa niya. Or sa boring na asawa. Sa trabaho. Di ba? Sa bahay. What did they do? They escape to the religion. Find God in the ordinary. Find God in the mundane. In your lack of interest. Hanapin mo si Lord dyan. Find God when you wake up in the morning believing that the rising sun is a sign of God's unconditional love. Find God when you're in front of your work desk. And even if you see that even if you can't see your work desk because of the mountain of paperwork, meet God in that mountain of paperwork. Find God when you're riding a Grab or riding a Kas. How you do that? You recognize that Jesus is in your driver. Find God when you're watching a teleserye. Find God when you're playing with your kids or cuddling with your spouse or laughing with your friends. Having friends over, laughing with them. Now say it with me. God is in my ordinary. Now come on, repeat it. God is in my ordinary. And finally, do you feel ordinary? Do you feel you're nobody? Do you feel so unspectacular? Yeah, the words of Paul. Unspectacular. Find God inside you. Now here's a question. How can you destroy evil? How can you destroy evil? Ask me how. You can't. But God is living inside you. He's living inside us. Now in the next scene, Jesus talks about a haunted house. Let's read that. That's from verse 43 to 45. When an evil spirit leaves a person, Jesus said, it goes into the desert seeking rest but finding none. Then it says, I will return to the person I come from. So it returns and finds its former home empty, swept, and in order. Then the spirit finds 7 other spirits more evil than itself, and they all enter the person and live there. And so that the person is worse off than before. That will be the experience of this evil generation. Ito opinion ko lang. And you're free to disagree. I believe Jesus was saying that the Pharisees were like this haunted house. No? At that moment, 7 demons entered their lives. Why? Why else would they want to kill him? But, once upon a time, these religious leaders had no demons in them. Their home was swept clean and ordered by their obedience of the law. But the law is not enough. Nothing can fill you up. Only God can satisfy you. Without God, you will always be empty. Without God, you will always be searching, longing, thirsting. Well, let's go practical again. I have 2 more applications. Number 3, never be complacent. Do you want to change your life? Diba? Do you want like a 180-degree turn, or do you want to overhaul yourself? Now, this story teaches us two crucial things. First lesson, at least in this world, you cannot destroy evil. You can only disconnect from it in your life. Meaning, evil can reconnect again. How do you stop this from happening? Now, alam niyo po ba yung mga Alcoholics Anonymous? It's a global movement that has helped millions of alcoholics rehabilitate. Diba? And one of their core principles is an alcoholic is always an alcoholic. Medyo nakakatakot pakinggan, pero it's very real. Now, in every AA, Alcoholics Anonymous small group meeting, each participant introduces himself by saying, "Hi, I'm Marky and I'm an alcoholic." Now, even if I have been sober for like 2 decades, or not, sasabihin mo yun when you introduce yourself. Diba? Yung, ganon. Diba? I'm Marky, I'm an alcoholic. You start with that. Diba? But what's this message? Diba? This message, when you do this, diba, it's like relaying a message that you never be complacent. Diba? Because, or they never want an addict to forget his weakness, because it's so easy to slip back. Maniwala kayo sa akin. You can't say no to evil unless you fully say yes to God. You also can say no to the devil without saying yes to a new set of friends, a new set of lifestyle, a new set of habits. Which brings me to our last message, number 4. Put God at the center. Jesus said the demon returns his former house because it was empty. Ano ba sinasabi sa atin ito? You cannot remove a bad habit. You can only replace it with a good one. Now, for years, I was a drug addict. Yes, nasarapan po ako sa high. But may araw na I hated myself. I was in deep pain. So, drugs was my painkiller. As long as there was emptiness inside me, I couldn't stop my addiction. But when I started to love myself the way God loved me, diba? Using love languages na naintindihan ko, and being humble and sometimes celebrating who I am, natanggapin ko na yung kahinaan ko, and nahanapin ko yung my core needs, and also with the help of friends. Alam mo yung drugs, it faded away. I didn't need it anymore. Let me drop a truth bomb in your life. Only the habit of love can replace the habit of any addiction. Ulitin ko. Only the habit of love can replace the habit of any addiction. Well, again, here's our message. God lives inside you. Now, if you get rid of sin from your life, the throne of your life becomes empty. No, don't let it remain empty. Let God sit in your throne. Una siya. Naalala nyo ba nung early 90s, di ba? Kapag bumili ka ng branded na computer, darating yan, ako makikita mo sa box na mayroong maliit na sticker. Ang nakalagay doon, Intel Inside. That sticker guarantees its quality, dependability, durability, because because Intel was the best and the biggest computer chip maker in the world. Why mention this to you? God is inside you. You're a God container. You're a walking, talking, living temple of the Holy Spirit. That's pretty wild. That's a pretty wild truth. And it should change your life. It should change how you deal with yourself, and how you deal with others. And because the Almighty God lives inside you, it guarantees your quality, your dependability, your durability. Because your other parts may fail, but God inside you won't fail. God inside you won't fail. May your prayers and dreams come true, brothers and sisters. Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, thank you for staying inside. Thank you for being here, reminding us of your presence every day. Yeah, Lord, continue, Lord, to change us. Continue, Lord, make us see everything around us as your gifts, as we strive to look for your presence in the ordinary, in our ordinary life. Yeah, Lord, mold us, change us, guide us into this path that we're taking, O Lord, sa aming pagbabago, sa aming renewal. Yeah, Lord, thank you, Lord, uli sa isang linggo na binigay niyo sa amin. And we look forward, Lord, sa mas productive na isang linggo. And Lord, thank you for being inside of us. Thank you for sending your Son, Jesus Christ, to save us. And thank you, Lord, for all the wonders na ginagawa mo sa buhay namin. In the mighty name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. In the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Again, this is Cap Marky, mga kapatid. Muli, stay safe, stay sane. God bless us all. Have a wonderful week.